Hello, hello, hello. I'm live. Thank you very much for joining me, Nicky Hawkins, on the evening after the game before. I was privy to a little bit of information, so I've been waiting for an announcement all day, and I started to think it wasn't going to come, but it did come. Obviously, you've seen the news. David Moyes has been confirmed by the club. If you haven't seen it, um, go and have a look. It's on the Twitter page. It's official now. Um, I was aware. I was aware this was going to happen. I wasn't aware that there was going to be an announcement, but I thought after yesterday's performance, there may have been sort of a reaction from West Ham because I think they want to stop it from getting toxic. I'll be honest with you. I think the chairman, um, has seen this sort of thing happen before. Um, and it is what it is. It is what it is, and they don't want it to get toxic. I think they want to see David go out on a high, which I think is right. Um, but facts are facts, and he's gone. I think Fabrizio Romano earlier on said that um, sorry, I cannot pronounce his name, but the ex Watford manager may be the next manager. Is pretty much confirmed as that. Um, but let's get before we get into that, and I will take your comments. I don't normally do these live, but I thought, seeing as there's an announcement today, I will do it live. Lopetegui, Lopetegui, is that it? Someone saying me? Um, right. The Chelsea performance, a disgusting performance, and to be honest with you, I'm going to go into this, and then I'm going to go into the press conference after. Disgusting performance, all over the place, all over the shop. Defensively weak. I mean, weak. Bowen at the bar 3 times. Chelsea have had their defensive problems themselves, but facts are facts. We didn't really attack. They was having shot after shot after shot, and in fact, I stopped counting at about 20 shots. So I haven't seen the official stats, but I stopped counting at about 20 shots. I see a 17, and then I see 3 after, and I just thought I can't count anymore. They was cutting through us like a knife through butter. And listen, I know Chelsea have spent £1 billion. You've got to give them their flowers. They've got to give them their credit. I think that Cole Palmer is absolutely a stunning player. I think Nicholas Jackson, although I'm not a big fan of Nicholas Jackson, I thought he ran our defence ragged. I thought Caicedo was good, but it was too easy. It was too easy, and it. The things I'm going to say now, they would have been different this morning before I was sort of like privy to this announcement coming. Because I'm going to start with a manager. Because I think that's the only place to start. He came out in the press conference after, and he looked physically disappointed. He was slating players. He was sticking his boot in, and that's why, with the information I already had, I knew this was the beginning of the end for him. It was, it was a ridiculous press conference to have. He probably shouldn't have done it. But I think he feels disappointed. And I will get into the players in a minute because, David Moyes isn't fully to blame. Although, I see Suchik coming out trying to protect him. And I think he was trying to protect him. Listen, I was at the game. If he was at the game, listen, I look at everything. David Moyes didn't get off his seat once. Not one. Well, I say not once. He probably got off his seat about 3 or 4 times in the whole game. It was his assistant manager that was sort of directing the team. We're 3-0 down. And I physically see his assistant manager telling them to push back. It's the sort of manager he is, and then when he's a defensive-minded manager. He's a defensive-minded manager that can't fucking defend. And when he got asked in a press conference, what's the difference this year? 36 games into the season, he turns around and mentions Declan Rice's name. Declan Rice, world-class player. You had a year, and you knew he was going for a year to replace him. Listen, Declan's irreplaceable. I don't care what anybody says. He's one of the best players in his position in the world, in world football. But you've had a year to think about it. You've got him 3 players, 2 players, and in Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, two midfield players, and then when I signed Kudus and Mavropanos, I don't know whether that come with the same money. But 36 games into the season, he starts sticking his boot into his players. What does that do to the current set of players? You know, you've got a current set of players. Listen, Declan Rice isn't coming back. You know, no matter if David Moyes, you know, he's not going to come back and save David Moyes. But why would you turn around and say Declan Rice is the issue? You know, you've got to put confidence in your players, and you know, you've got to be the one to create confidence in the camp. You could tell from, you know, not only last week's performance at Palace, but the players are just done. They're done with it. They're done with him. Um, some of the players need to really take the blame, because again, you know, forget the manager. Forget the manager. Forget what your personal gripes are with it. Forget your personal gripes with the club. But there are how many people at Stamford Bridge yesterday? 2,500, something like that. But there have been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of away fans travelling across the country, spending money, spending travel money. You know, they're not cheap to go to West Ham games these days. And listen, some of you boys are earning so much money that you know, you don't realise what the average man is worth. You know what he's earning. And what his costs are, and in conjunction, and a percentage of his sort of like weekly or monthly wage or yearly wage, and what he contributes to football. It's a high percentage. It's a high percentage. And some of them players yesterday, I don't want to see him play for West Ham United again. That is the God's honest truth. 3-0 comes in, 3-0. I see it at the goal. You know, I check it at every goal. The third goal goes in, which was an awful, awful goal. You know, cross comes in. Thiago Silva, I think it was Thiago Silva, rose above everyone, nods it back across, and someone's there, back post to tap it in. Not one player, not one of them. Yeah. So I'm not going to, you know, dig anyone out just yet. Not one player was sitting there questioning anyone, asking who has his man, you know, showing disappointment, showing anger, you know, getting instructions from the bench. None of them. They just kicked the ball, like, and this was the same as Palace. Kick the ball back to the centre circle, heads down. You know, just, you know, thinking to themselves, you know, looking like they just can't wait for the summer to come, and that that concerns me. It annoys me. I mean, we all know that footballers are in a bubble. They can be in a bubble. They don't understand what it means to wear a shirt. Listen, I don't always understand. You know, I don't always, you know, pretend to think that everyone, or you know, or delusion enough to think everyone that comes and plays for our football club think of it as a big of a privilege as me. You could lock me in a cell, in a jail cell, and if someone said to me, for one time, you could go out and play 10 minutes for West Ham in a West Ham kit in front of 60,000 people or whatever it is in front of a stadium, I'd chew through the jail cell door to do it. And if I wouldn't you know, if I wouldn't chew through the jail cell door to do that, you know, some of them, and I know a lot of people, would chew through the jail cell door for the amount of money they get a week. So if it's not for the love of the club, for the love of the fucking money that you're earning, because it's disgusting what some of you are. Lucas Paquetá, I never want to see that guy in a West Ham kit again. He is checked out. He's been checked out for a long, long time. You know, ever since that announcement come out that he was, you know, he was going, you know, to City. Not interested. Not interested. He's a wonderful player, and I've seen wonderful players at West Ham before. But if your mind ain't on the shirt, and you don't want to give the fans anything, you know, a couple of them yesterday, straight down the tunnel. You know, there were people there 90 minutes after we've lost 5-0 to a London rival. Not just a London rival, but a rival that we could have leapfrogged in the table. Who spent £1 billion. You lose 5-0. 5-0 to a London rival, and there's some of them running down the tunnel. Honestly, I have never seen. Well, I'm not going to say I've never seen anything like it, because that's what footballers are like these days. But there's kids there, man. There's kids there. Come over and give back something. You know, come over and give back something. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the manager's gone. The manager's gone. I think it's the right appointment. Appointment. I think it's the right decision to announce it right now. Um, I'm sad to see him go, and I'm sad to see him go in a blaze of glory. And I do feel like he was proper sticking the boot in yesterday. Um, no idea why he's sort of relying on people like Cresswell, Danny Ings. They're not going to save his job, and they wasn't going to save his job. As I say that there's some players there that haven't got a future at the club. And Danny Ings and Cresswell one. Ogbonna's another. Although I've heard a rumor that they may offer him a new contract, but if they do, I'm sure it'd be down to the new manager now, and Tim Steiden. We've got to start the project, and I think this is about a year too late, in my opinion. Going to get a manager when we're in Europe, trophy winners. Lucas Paquetá still there, Kudus coming in, Alvarez coming in. I think this could have been a special season, and it started that way. There were some results, positive results. That started the season well. Made it feel like it was going to be. It was going to be a good season, but it's petered out. The lack of squad depth. The people going in January. I mean, Calvin Phillips has got to be the worst signing of all time. I think he's gone back to City, as far as I know. And if he ain't, we'll drop him off there on the way back from getting a good hiding. But for Moyes' sake, I think he needs to, and I think the players do as well. And I owe this to the fans, that they need to sit there, have a good hard look at themselves, and give a little bit of a better showing. They've got 2 games left. Listen, we could win Arsenal the league, but at this moment in time, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, give 2 performances, get that Luton game under your belt, and at least try and give City a game. I don't care if it wins Arsenal the league. I really don't. That is insignificant to me. But they owe us performances. They owe us performances. Word on the manager. I thank him. I do thank him. I thank him for everything he's done. Has he been harshly treated? I think you need to listen, and I think you need to, you need to sometimes humble yourself and realize that although you have the final say, it doesn't mean it's always right. And I think he did that too much. I think it was a touch of Allardyce in the end. Fighting against the grain with the fans. Fans want to see better football. They pay their money at the end of the day. At the end of the day, and I said this about everything. You have all the talent in the world, but if no one comes to watch you, what are you? You're just a man playing football in a park. It doesn't matter. The fans make football. And I think a little bit of it's got lost. But there you go. Should we take some? Should we take some comments? Let's have a look. Although it's not gone the same way, the right way for Moyes, and it's not ending on a high. He does deserve respect, and I've always said that. There's certain people on YouTube. You can have your opinion on him, but some people got personal, and I never wanted to see it get personal. My football club is the most important thing at the end of the day, and I always want to see I always say what's right for the football club, but he does deserve respect. So I know it's good riddance and all of that for someone, but for the last 2 games, that now we know what his fate is. It just respect, and don't get on the new manager's back before he fucking starts, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, whoever it is, give him a chance. Give him a chance before you start making petitions and asking for him out and all of that sort of thing. Let's just see. Right. Zach Roblocks, is that? I think we've had enough Moyes now. Respect for winning Europe, but he should have been binned at the start of the season. Sullivan's a coward. while Moyes has been somewhat harshly treated, let's not forget he agreed to take Billich's job before he was sacked and went on beIN Sports to brag about it. He knows how it works. I didn't know that. Moyes will always be a legend to me for what he's done. He's made special memories for me. Start of the season, we were still conceding 30 shots with Areola getting man of the match every game. So it's luck more than anything to have a good start. Nicky about to cry. Damn, I'm not about to cry. I'll tell you a little story about Chelsea after. If anyone's, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have bet that Easter egg. A little story about Chelsea on the way there yesterday, and why I was a little bit annoyed in the fan cams afterwards, and I apologise for that. The thing with Moyes, says Nick Nack, is he always had a crap record against top teams. Well said, Nicky. Beat Luton, do a Moyes performance against City, get a point or all three off them. Always respect your thoughts, Nicky, and appreciate them. Until it's officially done, I'll wait until what's officially done. He's gone. It's already been announced. It's already been announced that he's going, mate. By the club, by the way, not by me, not by an in-and-know, by the club itself. At the beginning of the season, we were still playing rubbish. Still a big improvement on 14th last season. It was only the Conference League that kept Moyes in his job anyway. Yes, Klopp or slop or even flop. Somebody called me. I've got to find it. Somebody called me a fake fan. Let me see this. Right, got to work 2-3 years to earn what some of these wastes of space earn. Should make a profit and pack a tire release. Yeah. I mean, spend that money wisely. What's the chances he might give some youth a chance against Luton now the season's dead and off? No chance. No chance. More likely to get the old boys going on the pitch. Aside from Brown, there aren't any players that I would be bothered if we sold. The hugest rebuild is in order. I want a shirt. Someone called me Waffle Fan TV. I saw it earlier. I'm not a real fan. Well, you've got your opinion. I've got mine. Mick Roman says, thanks for the trophy, David. I hope the fans in attendance will give him a decent send-off. Big up, Nicky. Was a matter of time, in my opinion. Big respect to Moyes. He gave me and my son the memories of winning the European trophies now, but now is the time to move on. I think it was the time last year. Been an absolute draining season. I agree with that. I am drained. Moyes' time is absolutely up. I thank him for what he's done, but this management circus by Sullivan, etc., is absolutely embarrassing to watch it play out publicly. The men have got no class. I don't expect anything different. I can't wait till the season. It depends on the transfer business we do, whether a blinder whoever gets to take over. Moyes deserves to see out his contract. Can't believe that some of our fans think he should be sacked. I think he should have been sacked, mate. Sad because David did not listen. Never use youth and war players into the ground. Shame he could have been a legend if he just knew how to change a game. But thank you for what you've done for David. Never apologise for hitting an Easter egg, mate. I apologise that much, and I meant the apology that much. So yeah, another one. And let me just tell you before we go, as I said, we'll be building up towards Luton on Saturday. But if you missed it, David Moyes has been sacked by West Ham. He will be leaving at the end of the season. He sees out his contract. At least it doesn't go with immediate effect. But the new manager, as far as I know, has been appointed. And we'll find out who that is in due course. There you go. But let me tell you about the experience I had at Chelsea yesterday and why I was so annoyed. Apologies to anyone that watched Dave's fan cam. There was a little altercation in there. I tried to take it out, but I uploaded the wrong video, so it went up in full. And you see what happened now. A guy, this much space between me and the camera, decides to walk right in the middle, despite there being a massive amount of space behind. On the way to the ground, I'd already been punched in the back of the head by a Chelsea fan. I got attacked by a Chelsea fan on the way there. I thought it was a little bit of a joke by one of my mates going a bit too far. When I turned around, the guy's in my face, drunk as a skunk, because I had shorts on and I had a West Ham badge on. He was calling me all sorts of expletives. And by the time I'd seen that, by the time I'd gone into the ground and seen that defeat, um, I was uh, I was saying, um, I was very annoyed, and some things happened. Uh, Clara, and you saying uh, Lopetegui's not done? Well, I can tell you something's done. Something's done. I'm not gonna. I don't know who it is, but I know something's done. But there you go. So yeah, that's why I was so annoyed. Just the apologies to anyone that got offended by my language. Um, I tried to keep that uh, a little bit down. Yeah, yeah. Ollie PRJ Gromance. Do you know what? I can stand getting punched. I can stand. Someone who wants to fight me. I cannot stand people trying to mug me off and taking the piss out of me when it's respect. So you know it was an empty threat. What I said to him anyway. It wasn't a proper threat, but I can't stand that sort of thing. But there we go. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's the morning after the game before, but it's the evening after the game before. Did I get the Facebook channel back? No. Subscribe if you know. There's quite a few of you watching. Thank you very much for keeping up your support this season. I really appreciate it. Let's get the last couple of games done. The last sort of post-match point for the final home game. We'll be back next season. Yeah, so we'll be building up towards that. But thank you very much. One thing left to say: come on, you Irons.